This is Chris Bedales. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bedales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. And I'll be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my WWE Backlash 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Backlash tonight. They are live in Puerto Rico tonight, and we start off Backlash with the first match of the night, a really good one. It was the WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, 1-on-1 for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Now, Bayley and Dakota Kai was not at ringside for this match, but they get involved, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, this match was a really good match. It was going back and forth between these two women. There was one move where Io Sky was going after Bianca's arm, majority of the time injuring and stuff during this match, and so Bianca lifts her up for like the military press, but only holds her up for like one arm, and she pretty much dropped Io right on her face. I mean, it looked like Io was okay because she kept on continuing, so thank God, and she didn't wasn't bleeding from the nose or anything, which was all good. So yeah, but yeah, that was a pretty not the best spot right there. But yeah, like I said, it was just going back and forth. They come in with near falls and everything. At one point, we see Io knock Bianca outside the ring. She jumps off the top turnbuckle with a moonsault onto Bianca Belair outside the ring, throws her back into the ring, pins her, but Bianca barely kicking out at 2. And then we get to one part where we see Bianca on the top turnbuckle. Io's up there trying to hit the Hurricane Rana onto her off the top turnbuckle, and then Bianca pulls her right back up, and then Io tries to do it again, but then Bianca pulls her right back up again, and then he hits like an avalanche sit-out powerbomb off the second turnbuckle. So yeah, that's what she hits on Io, and then she pins Io barely kicking out at 2. But then after that, we see Bayley and Dakota Kai, Damage Control, walking down to the ring and all that stuff. And then at one point we see Bianca just looking at him and stuff, going after Bayley and stuff, trying to knock her off the apron, but she quickly jumped down. And then Bianca grabs Io, lifts her up for the KOD and stuff. Dakota Kai gets on the ring apron, and Bianca uses Io's legs to knock Dakota Kai off the apron, but Io gets off of her shoulders, grabbing her by the hair and stuff, and then rolls her up for a pin, but she barely kicked out at 2. Bianca really barely kicked out at 2. But then Io starts taking control of this match, and then we get to the ending where we see Bayley distracting the referee. Io Sky knocks Bianca on the second rope, and then that's when Dakota Kai comes up with a kick to the side of the head onto Bianca. Io climbs up the top turnbuckle. Bayley grabs Bianca by the hair, holding her down, making sure she don't move or whatever, but the referee catches Bayley doing that, and then Io's just looking at her, and then she jumps off at the top turnbuckle with a moonsault, but Bianca moves out the way, and then Bianca grabs Io, lifts her up, and hits the KOD right onto Io Sky, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Io Sky tonight on Backlash, and she has retained the WWE Raw Women's Championship. That's what happened. Really good match. I give that match 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good opener. So yeah, maybe that's a little bit rating of it too high, but I don't care. It was still a really good match between Io Sky and Bianca Belair. So yeah, just really good stuff. But yeah, it looks like Bianca Belair will be the longest reigning modern day women's champion after tonight. So yeah, that's the case right there. But then after that, we see Bad Bunny getting ready for his match later on tonight against Damian Priest, and then Rey Mysterio comes in there. Both of them speaking Spanish. I don't know what they're saying, but yeah, they're speaking Spanish or whatever. And then Rey Mysterio introduces Savio Vega. So yeah, he comes up, and it was great to see Savio Vega back on WWE TV. And then he gives Bad Bunny a kendo stick and stuff, and they're speaking Spanish and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool moment right there. But it looks like up next we're going to be getting Seth Rollins versus Omos 1-on-1 up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on WWE Backlash. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Backlash, it was a 1-on-1 match. And this match, it was actually really good. Like, I kind of expected it to be pretty good because, like, Seth Rollins and stuff. But this, let's go ahead and talk about it. Seth Rollins versus Omos with MVP at ringside. And like I said, pretty damn good match. I would say this is Omos's best match yet in the company. Like he has some pretty good matches, like against somewhat against Bobby Lashley, Johnny Gargano and stuff. But this one right here, this just proves how good Omos is, like, pretty much is in the ring. Like, he's gotten way more better and stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Like, he was just dominating majority of the time, obviously throwing Seth Rollins around and stuff, and Rollins like wondering like, how the hell am I going to knock this guy down? Like, at one point we see Seth Rollins jump off the top turnbuckle with a big frog splash on Omos. He pins him and Omos kicked out at one. So yeah, Omos was just being so fucking dominant in this match. At one point, Omos actually hits the choke slam onto Seth Rollins, pins him, and Rollins barely kicked out at two. So yeah, Omos was just putting in the work on Seth Rollins in this match. But then we get closer and closer to the ending. Like, Rollins was trying to hit the pedigree onto Omos, and Omos hit like a back body drop onto him, laying him out and stuff. So yeah, like, Seth was trying to do a lot of stuff and was not working, you know? Like, at one point, he tried to hit the curb stomp, and Omos is using the strength for, like, holding himself up still. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. But then we get to the ending of the match, and Seth hits a curb stomp onto Omos, and the MVP's distracting the referee and stuff because he's on the ring apron trying to get into the ring. Rollins goes over there, super kicks him in the face, knocking him off the ring apron, and then he hits a second curb stomp on Omos. He pins him, 1, 2, Omos barely kicking out at 2. Seth Rollins is so surprised that he kicked out of after 2 curb stomps. So Seth Rollins goes over there, climbs up the top turnbuckle. He's up there on the very top. Omos gets back up to his feet, bending down and stuff, and then Seth Rollins hits a super curb stomp onto Omos off the top turnbuckle. And he hits him with it, and then he pins him for the 3 counts. So yeah, Seth Rollins defeated Omos tonight in a one-on-one match. That match, it was really good. It was really good. Go check it out if you have yet. I'll give it 3.5 stars. Seth Rollins, obviously, we know that this is going to be a good match because, like, Seth Rollins is involved. But Omos, he put in the work. So I got to say that much. Like, Omos needed the win, obviously. And hopefully, whoever he feuds against next, he could pick up the win because he needs some wins, you know. But, like I said, great work from Omos in this match. But yeah, 3.5 stars is what I'll give this match. But up next, it will be the triple threat match. Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed for the United States Championship up next on Backlash. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Backlash, it was a triple threat match. It was the United States Champion, Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. And this match, it was a pretty good match. Now, it didn't have, like, so much time on it, like how triple threat matches would usually somewhat have, but it was still a really good match between all 3 of these guys. Like, we see Bronson Reed hitting like a springboard splash off the second rope on a Bobby Lashley outside of the ring, which was pretty cool and everything. But then we get in closer and closer to the ending of the match. Like, we see Lashley locking on the Hurt Lock onto Austin Theory, trying to make him tap out and stuff. But Austin Theory kicked off the top rope and stuff, and he rolls through with a pin onto Bobby Lashley. Pins him, but Lashley kicked out at 2. And as soon as he kicked out, Theory moves out the way, and then we see Bronson Reed jump off the top turnbuckle with the tsunami onto Bobby Lashley. He pins him, 1, 2, Austin Theory barely breaking up the pin at the count of 2. And then Austin Theory grabs Bronson Reed, lifts him up on his shoulders, trying to hit A-Town down onto Bronson Reed. But Bronson Reed got off his shoulders, pushes him to the ropes, and hits a power slam onto Austin Theory, laying him out. He goes over into the corner, climbs up the top turnbuckle, and he jumps off with a freaking moonsault. So he jumped off the top turnbuckle with a moonsault, but Austin Theory moved out the way, so Bronson Reed crashed and burned right there. And then he gets right back up, and then he gets hit with a spear by Bobby Lashley. Bronson Reed does, and then Austin Theory goes over there, grabbing Bobby Lashley and quickly throwing him out the ring through the second rope. He goes for the pin on the Bronson Reed. 1, 2, 3, all over there. Bobby Lashley getting back into the ring, but he was a second too late to break up the pin. But yeah, Austin Theory defeated Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley tonight in a triple threat match, and he has retained the United States Championship. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. I'll give that match 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It wasn't very long, but I'll still give it 3 stars because it was a pretty good one, quick and everything else like that. So yeah, that's why I'll give it 3 stars. But yeah, still many more matches to come later on tonight. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. The SmackDown Women's title will be defended. 6-man tag team match tonight. And Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a street fight. So yeah, many more stuff to go. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Backlash. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Backlash, it was a one-on-one match. It was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega one-on-one for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. And yeah, the crowd was just red hot for Zelina Vega. Her family was in the crowd. Her mom, her stepdad, and stuff was all in the crowd going for her and everything, which was pretty cool. She came out with a nice ring attire and stuff. And come out with the Puerto Rico flag and stuff like that. Just pretty cool, and we see Rhea Ripley wearing a nice ring gear as well, all white and stuff, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between these two women. Rhea Ripley showing her strength and stuff during this match a lot of times. At one point, we get to the ending where we see Rhea Ripley try to hit the Riptide onto Zelina Vega, but then Zelina Vega reverses it into that DDT onto Rhea Ripley. She gets knocked on the second rope. Zelina then hits the 619 onto Ripley. She climbs up the second turnbuckle and jumps off with the Meteora, the double knees, onto Rhea Ripley. She pins her 1, 2, Ripley barely kicking out at 2, and then we see Zelina going at it with Ripley, throwing some forearms and stuff. She runs to the ropes and comes back, but she gets kicked upside the head by Rhea Ripley, and then Ripley grabs her up and then hits the Riptide onto Zelina Vega, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Zelina Vega tonight, and she has retained the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match, and then after the match ended, the crowd was giving her a standing ovation after the match, giving Zelina Vega the ovation. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty cool stuff, though. For the match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was still a pretty good match, so go check it out if you haven't yet. But yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, we got Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar one-on-one. Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in a street fight later on tonight. And the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle in a 6-man tag team match later on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Backlash. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Backlash, it was a one-on-one match. It was Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight. So yeah, that's what we got. And this match, it was a pretty good match. Now, it was a little bit slow-paced in the beginning and stuff. Like, Priest was pretty much pushing around Bad Bunny in the very start, and Bad Bunny just hits him in the face, and then he hits a Michinoku driver onto Priest. Priest was surprised. He kicked out at 1, but he was surprised about that. And then Priest starts dominating the match a little bit and stuff. Bad Bunny was trying to come back, but Priest hits that South of Heaven onto him, that sit-out chokeslam on the Bad Bunny. He pins him. Could have won the match, but he lifted up his shoulder at the count of 2 and stuff. Bad Bunny was grabbing weapons and stuff from the cart that he did brought out during this, before the match started and all that stuff. It had, like, trash cans, steel chairs, kendo sticks and all that, trying to use them and stuff. And then Priest had enough of them, throws them over the barricade and stuff, carry them through the crowd. Both of them's going at it and stuff. And they go onto this big cart or whatever, this platform or whatever, and Priest hits a Falcon's arrow, which he calls a broken arrow, onto Bad Bunny off the platform thing through through 3 tables. Yeah. So yeah, he put Bad Bunny through 3 tables with the broken arrow off the platform and stuff. We see Adam Pearce and a bunch of referees coming over there, checking on Bad Bunny and stuff, but Priest ain't having none of it. He lifts up Bad Bunny, carries him, and tosses him back over the barricade. He had Bad Bunny's head pretty much planted right over there at the ring post and stuff, and Damian Priest was trying to hit a spinning kick onto him, but Bad Bunny moves out the way, and Priest hits his leg onto the ring post, which hurt his leg for the rest of the match. Bad Bunny was going after his leg majority of the time using a steel chair and stuff, hitting him in the leg and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, when it looked like Bad Bunny was going to win this match because he locked on the figure 4 leg lock and stuff, we see Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio running down. They come in there just beating down Bad Bunny and stuff, just laying him out and everything. But then all of a sudden we see Rey Mysterio running down. He's trying to take control, but obviously the numbers is caught up and they start beating him down as well. But then all of a sudden we hear a familiar music. It was Carlito's music. Carlito comes running down, helping out and stuff. He hits the backstabber on Finn Balor, and then he's the Apple and stuff. But then all of a sudden, Dominic starts attacking him. Ray comes in there, hits the 619 onto Dominic. Dominic comes back up. He turns around. He gets spitted right in the face. Carlito spits the apple in Dominic's face and stuff. Classic Carlito. And then Mysterio and Dominic and Finn was trying to escape and stuff. They start going up the ramp and stuff. All of a sudden, we see Savio Vega coming out and stuff. And then all of a sudden, we see Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and Santos Escobar, the rest of the LWO, coming out. And pretty much Savio Vega directs traffic, making them go after Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. All of them's going at it and stuff. And then we see Savio Vega getting in some action, striking them upside the head with some chops and stuff upside the head, and some kicks as well. So yeah, and then they chased Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio off. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we see Bad Bunny. He's looking, he's smiling and stuff. Priest is waiting for him. Bad Bunny turns around. Priest is trying to kick him upside the head, but his leg gave out and stuff. And then Bad Bunny starts going after him, beating him down and stuff. He hits a nice sliced bread onto Damian Priest. Almost lands on his face, too, it looks like. But yeah, he hits a sliced bread onto Damian Priest, and he pins him, but it wasn't enough because Priest barely kicking out at 2. But he kept on going after Damian Priest's leg, and then he hits that Bunny Destroyer onto Damian Priest, and then he pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Bad Bunny defeated Damian Priest tonight in the San Juan street fight tonight at Backlash. That's what happened. Really good match. If you have yet, go check out that match. It was a really good one. For that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was pretty entertaining. We've seen Carlito make his return out there. We've seen Savio Vega getting involved. The rest of the LWO. It was a pretty good one. So yeah, 4 stars. That's why I'll give the match and everything else. But yep, that's what happened there. And they did show the pretty nice video package of Bad Bunny before the match and everything, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like later on tonight the main event will be Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, because up next it will be the Usos and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle up next in a 6-man tag team match. So yeah, that match will be up next on Backlash. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Backlash. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Backlash, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, teaming up with Matt Riddle versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, in a 6-man tag team match. And this match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and a lot of stuff, but then there was some miscommunication a lot of times with the Bloodline and stuff. The cracks, you could see it forming and all that stuff during this match. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So, yeah, there was a bit of miscommunication with the Usos, at least, when we see Jimmy tagging in Jay. And Jimmy was trying to hit the super kick onto Kevin Owens, actually. And Kevin moves out the way, and he accidentally hit the super kick onto Jay. And then Kevin Owens hits the super kick on Jimmy, taking him out. He throws Jay to the ropes and hits a sit-out pop-up powerbomb onto Jay. He pins him 1, 2, Jay barely kicking out at 2. But then we get going on during this match, like Matt Riddle and Kevin Owens gets taken out and stuff. But then Sami Zayn is like, you know, sitting in the corner and stuff, almost like beaten down and stuff. Jay setting up for that hip attack or whatever onto Sami in the corner. You know, he's doing his taunt and stuff in the corner. But then all of a sudden Solo tags himself in. Jay just stares at him for a second. And then he decides to get out of the ring. And Solo was about to do something up until Jay slaps the hell out of him, tagging himself in. And Solo was getting really mad about that. And Jay was like, bro, get the hell out of the ring. you ain't gonna do that to me, pretty much. So yeah, that's what Jay pretty much did. Solo gets out the ring, and then Jay turns around. He almost gets hit with the hula kick, but he moves out the way. But Solo gets hit with the hula kick, getting knocked off the ring apron. Jay comes up to Sammy. Sammy hits that exploder suplex onto him in the corner, and then he hits Jay with the hula kick. He pins him. 1, 2, Solo barely breaking up the pin at the count of 2, but then that's when everybody starts coming into the ring. We see Matt Riddle coming up, hitting the flash knee to the face onto Solo Sikoa, taking him out. And then we see Jimmy coming in there, tossing Matt Riddle through the second rope out of the ring. And then we see Kevin Owens coming in there, hitting the stunner onto Jimmy Uso, taking him out. And then Sami Zayn and then we see Jay. We see Sammy and Jay going at it for a little bit and stuff, and then eventually we see Solo actually get tagged in this stuff, and yeah, he comes in there, he hits a Samoan spike onto Kevin Owens, actually taking him out, which I forgot to mention right there. But yeah, and then Jay comes up behind him and Solo grabs him, and he's about to hit Jay with the Samoan spike. Like, he's tired of Jay's shit, pretty much. So yeah, Solo's about to hit Jay with the Samoan spike, but then he calms down for a little bit and stuff. But then he gets knocked back out of the ring and stuff. So yeah, and by Matt Riddle, because he's tagged in. Riddle grabs Jay, he hits him with the Bro Derek, but he didn't know that Solo was the legal man and stuff. But he hit Jay with the Bro Derek. He's pinning him, but obviously the referee won't count it, and then that's when Solo gets back into the ring, grabbing him, hitting the Samoan spike onto Matt Riddle, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Solo Sikoa and the Usos defeated Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens tonight in a 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. But yeah, you can see the cracks forming in the bloodline right there. But it's still pretty good stuff. For that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good 6-man tag team match. So yeah, just pretty good stuff, you know. But yeah, that's what happened there. And yeah, we seen the Usos throwing up the ones, and Solo's just staring at him and stuff, like staring a hole in him. So yeah, crazy stuff though. But yeah, up next will be the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar 1-on-1. Up next at Backlash. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Backlash. So the next thing to happen on Backlash, it was the main event. It was Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar 1-on-1. And yeah, we get straight to this match. So Cody Rhodes makes his entrance first, and then down comes Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar's walking around the ring and stuff up until Cody Rhodes hits a suicide dive onto him by the announce tables and stuff, and then he starts beating down Brock Lesnar, grabbing his steel chair, whacking him with it. Before the match even starts, he grabs the steel steps and hits him in the head with the steel steps and everything. So he's just beating down Brock Lesnar. He throws him back into the ring. The match starts and stuff. Rhodes is doing a lot of stuff to keep Brock Lesnar down. He hits a disaster kick a few times onto Brock Lesnar and stuff, and then he tries to hit a Cody Cutter onto Lesnar and springboard off the second rope, but he gets caught by Lesnar, and that's when Lesnar starts taking control of the match, hitting a German suplex onto him, and just keeps on hitting him with a bunch of suplexes and German suplexes and all that. Well, at one point, when Brock goes to the corner and grabs Cody Rhodes and setting up for a German suplex, Cody Rhodes grabs onto the turnbuckle pad and exposed the turnbuckle when he got German suplex and stuff. So yeah, they was going back and forth and everything, and to go to the corner and stuff, Lesnar runs over to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes drop kicks him in the knee, and then Brock Lesnar hits his face on the exposed turnbuckle, and it caused him to bleed. So yeah, he was busted open during this match, which was pretty cool because we haven't been seeing blood a lot lately in WWE. But yeah, he got busted open, and then Cody Rhodes grabs him, and then he hits a crossroads onto Brock Lesnar and lifts him up again and hits a second crossroads onto Brock Lesnar. He pins him 1, 2, Brock Lesnar barely kicking out at 2, and then he lifts up Brock Lesnar to try to hit a third crossroads onto Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar fought out of that, and he hits him with the F5 in the middle of the ring, and he pins him 1, 2, Cody Rhodes barely kicking out at 2 right there. And yeah, Lesnar and Rhodes had enough of each other going at it and stuff, and then we see Brock Lesnar lock on the Kimura lock onto Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes like he was about to tap out up until he quickly kind of like got up a little bit and forced Brock Lesnar's shoulders down to the mat, getting the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Cody Rhodes defeated Brock Lesnar tonight on Backlash. That's what happened. That was probably the best way for Cody Rhodes to win the match anyways. He didn't do that stuff like Liv Morgan did, tapping out at the same time or nothing like that. But that's how he got the pin and got the win, was forcing down Brock Lesnar's shoulders when he had the Kimura locked on. But yeah, pretty good stuff though. For the main event, I'll give it 3.5 stars as well. Give it. It was a pretty good match. Match of the night probably is either Bianca Belair and Io Sky's match, because that match was really good, or maybe the 6-man tag team match or the street fight. Those matches was pretty good as well. But yeah, for the main event, like I said, 3.5 stars as well. Give it. And for tonight's Backlash pay-per-view, I'll give it 8.5 stars as well. Give it. It was a pretty good show. But yeah, that's why I'll give the show. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, that has been my WWE Backlash 2023 reviews. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bagels, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. And I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.